Good evening, good evening, good evening, my brothers and sisters. How are you doing this beautiful evening? Your brother Tony is in the house. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I got some good food for the soul this evening, and you really are going to feast on this. So, my brother and sister, come on, sit down. You know, we have plenty of room and we got plenty of that good food for the soul. And before you sit down, my brother and sister, go ahead and invite some more family members and friends to this good feast that we're about to feast upon. If this is your first time at the dinner table, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I talk on relationships. When I talk about relationships, my brothers and sisters, I talk about relationships basically from a biblical point of view. And when I say a biblical point of view, I believe strongly in the how God created the relationship between a man and a woman. When you look at it, it's documented in the book of Genesis, and that's the position that I come from. Now, if you have another point of view of how a relationship's supposed to be, you have what is called free will. You could do whatever you choose to do. But if you are at the dinner table, I specifically talk about the relationship that between a man and a woman, how God started up. God had a unique relationship with the man Adam. Secondly, he had a unique relationship with the woman Eve. Thirdly, he represented the woman to the man because he used the rib of the man, that man being Adam, and he formed what is called Eve. And he represented the woman to the man. And in the presence of God, the man Adam said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call a woman because she came from man. Now, that's the position that I come from. Now, if you believe in anything else, like I say, you have a free will. You can do whatever you choose to do. And with that said, while you're sitting down, my brothers and sisters at the dinner table, and any family members that's coming in, more family members and any guests coming in, I would like to inform you that I'm on two different platforms. I'm on the Tube and I'm on the book. Those of you on the book, I may make a comment to those that are on the Tube, but you may not see their comments, but they're here. And those of you on the Tube, I may make a comment to those that are on the book. You may not see their comments, but they're here. So I will call out their names and I will state what was said. As a matter of fact, my brother and sister, since we're at the dinner table, I encourage you. You could talk to your family, the rest of the family members and friends. If you see a comment, you can address the comment, but do it in a nice, respectable way. And when you do it, try to stay on the top of that hand, okay? How you doing, Jay Booker? Welcome to the dinner table. Welcome, 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 and come on in, my brothers, and come on in, my sisters. Now tonight, on the menu at the dinner table, we are going to get into this discussion, and the discussion is God doesn't want a woman to go looking for a man. How you doing, Jay Lang? How you welcome, sister? Welcome to the dinner table. This is what we're about to talk about at the dinner table. When you look on the menu, this is what we're talking about. God doesn't want a woman to go looking for a man. Now, there may be a woman, one of you sisters, you may be listening to me, but you desire to be in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship with a good man, not just any man, but a good man. But you may can't find that man. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight at the dinner table. Sister Jay Lane said, "What does it mean when someone says I'm dancing at your wedding?" That's just a little saying, or that someone might put out there by, just a little saying that when you get married, they'll just be happy when you get married. That's basically what it's saying. How you doing, Lajada? I hope I pronounced your name right. Lajada, Lajada. I hope that I pronounced your name right. But welcome to the dinner table. So my question, my brothers, and my question, my sister, this mostly for you sister tonight. So you brothers, I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying, because if you are the brother, if you are the good man, and you may be in a position to, God could orchestrate you meet a sister tonight. You never know how God gonna do it. So just stay tuned, brothers. But this is basically more for the sisters, okay? But you know, I talk to men and women, okay? So with that said, um, I'm about to speak some truth, my brothers and sisters. And sister, listen to what I'm about to say. I'm about to speak some truth, some real truth. And hopefully you don't internalize it to the point where you don't want that you get really into your feelings and you take it eternally. But I'm not here to be mean spirit or anything. I'm here to let you sister realize a point, okay? So that's why I'm here. Okay. I can expect worldly women don't want to hear what I got to say, but I'm talking to you sisters, okay? You sisters. And when I say sister, I'm talking about godly women. That's what I'm talking about. You're welcome, Sister Jade. Now, when it comes to the topic at hand on the dinner table, God doesn't want a woman to go looking for a man. Let me tell you this, sister. To tell you the truth, when God created you, you did not go looking for a man. Just think about it. When God created the woman, she did not go looking for a man. Well, how did she meet a man? God brought the woman to the man. That's what it said. God brought the woman to the man. And it is still happening that way today. You may not see God in a physical form, but when God really want to match up a godly man, this is what we're talking about. It's a certain type of man. And sister, you're a godly woman. God is only going to cause a good man to notice you or find you. And when God calls a good man to notice you or find you, God is doing all the leg work. God is using the circumstance that you're in so that man could view you, just like he did on behalf of Adam and Eve. God brought the woman in the presence of Adam, and he seen her. Not only did he do that, God also brought Rebecca into the presence of Isaac. That's Abraham's son. Not only did God do that, he brought, and you all very familiar with this one, he brought Sister Ruth into the presence of Boaz. And that's how men find women when God is doing the leg work. No man finds a good woman without God fingerprinting it. No woman gets the attention of a godly man without God fingerprinting it. So God is the one that causes a man to find a woman. You got to understand that. If this formula is not in effect, God did not do it. You see, God used the circumstances of life for a man to notice a woman. If it come any other way, you see, when God bring a good man and a good woman together, it's not by coincidence, it's not by luck, it's not by chance, it is divine. When God bring a man and a woman together, this happened before the man and the woman ever existed. The union of a man and a woman to get together was already in God's mind before he created the world, believe it or not. He knew that Adam and Eve was going to mess up. He took all of that into account. As a matter of fact, my brother and sister, God knew, brother, that you were probably going to be involved with a woman or other women besides the one that he really wants you to be with. And the same thing, sister, God know that you probably was dealing with a man or men that God had no intentions of you being with. But in the process of time, when you went out course, sister and brother, when you went our course, God had this spiritual GPS that was trying to reroute you. You know, like when you have a GPS in your car, it reroutes you. When you want to go another way, what does it do? It start recalculating, and then it reroutes you, right? And that's how God bring a man and a woman together. Now, like I say, sister, you got to listen to this, what I'm about to say, because I'm going to help some of you sisters that are single and you are patiently waiting for the right man because you have dealt with the wrong man. You have dealt with series of men, and it keep coming to an end. And you're wondering, when is the madness gonna stop? It could stop tonight if you really listen to what I'm about to say. That's the key. You got to really listen to what I'm about to say, and the madness could stop tonight. Okay. With that said, there are 4 points that I'm going to make tonight, my brothers. There are 4 points that I'm going to make tonight, my sister. How you doing, Sister Ingle? Welcome to the dinner table. And happy birthday, Sister Ingrid. Happy birthday, sister. Happy birthday. Okay, now you saying you're 29 years old. You really 29. Okay, you're 29. You looking nice for 29, but are you really 29? If you want to be 29, you could be 29. How about that, sister? You could be 29. Now, we about to sisters, God doesn't want a woman to go looking for a man. You all remember some years ago, there was a song by Jody Watley, and I have said it before, I'm looking for a new Lord. It was a nice song. That song was popping. But okay, so thank you. 1994. Okay. If you notice this, my brother and sister, that was a nice song that Jody Watley had out years ago. But when you really listen to it, uh, from a spiritual standpoint, that's not God's way. Okay. That's not God's way for man and woman to get together. Okay. So, sister, this is what you need to realize. Listen to me carefully. This is what you need to realize. You need to realize that you were not created just by chance. You were created, if you recognize that you are a daughter of God and you have a desire for a man, that letting you know that you should be in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship. That's what it letting you know now. If you have a desire for a man, you are positioned and you were created to be married. You were not created to be a man's plaything. You were not created to be a man's girlfriend for years and years and years. You were not created for a man to just live with you and you live with him and you playing the role of a wife. No, you have more value than that because you are a daughter of God. How you doing, Ocean Eyes? Welcome to the dinner table. So if you're a daughter of God, you got to recognize that you were created to be a helpmeet for a godly man, not a worldly man. It's a godly man. Now, what is a godly man? A godly man is a man that is imperfect. How you doing, Sister Nick and Nash? He is imperfect. How you doing, Sister Kendra Williams? He is very, very Nikki and Kendra. Welcome to the dinner table tonight, as well as you, Sister Inga, and the rest of you all. Sister, the godly man, he's imperfect. The godly man, he has committed sin in his life. The godly man have went astray, but the godly man allowed the Lord Jesus to save him, and he's washed in the blood of the Lamb. So he is a follower of Christ. Okay, he's a follower of Christ, a godly man. A godly man is established when he meets you. He's not on the come up. He's already established. So listen to what I'm about to say. God is not gonna cause a man to find you when he's not ready for you. So when a man come to you, he's going to be ready for you. He is going to be, like when you go to the Garden of Eden, before Adam met Eve, before God brought Eve to Adam, Adam already had somewhere to stay, the Garden of Eden. How you doing, Sister Angela Bronner? He had the Garden of Eden, and Adam had somewhere to stay, and it was fully furnished. And not only was the Garden of Eden fully furnished, Adam had a job to cultivate and take care of the garden. Not only that, Adam had responsibilities, not only keeping it going, but he named all the animals. And not only that, Adam was he had a boundary, and the boundary was not to eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So when a man, and Adam was perfect, so when God calls a good man, a godly man to find you, sister, this man already have his stuff together. That's not saying he's going to be a billionaire or a millionaire. It's not saying that he's going to have six figures. It's not saying that he's going to look like Denzel Washington or what that other guy name, what his name, Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay, he may not look like those guys, and I always say he might look like Lil Froggy. He might not catch the eyes of everyone, but you see, he's a godly man on the inside. God never promised you, sister, a man that is tall, dark, and handsome. He never promised you a man that is wealthy. But what God will bring to you, a man that is a godly man that will take care of his home. Because the Bible clearly say, if a man does not take care of his home, he's worse than an infidel. So this man will be prepared. And what God does, sister, he will bring you into the view of the man. Because how it started at the beginning, God recognized that man that God brought to you. It was not good for that man to be alone. Even though he's imperfect, God knew that man had a desire too, just like Adam. But Adam was perfect. But this man that God will cause to find you, in God's time, this man was not meant to be alone. He had a desire for a woman. He did not know who you were. Only God knew the time and the place when this man was or is going to find you. When I say was, some of you sisters that have got married and you got married to a godly man, but I'm mostly talking to these sisters that have a desire to be married. So as it is written in the book of Genesis 2:18, Genesis 2:18, Genesis 2:18, it said, and the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him. So, sister, God doesn't want you going looking for a man. He doesn't want you going looking for a man. It's going to happen, but it's going to happen in God's time, not your time, but God's time. That's one point. Number two, sister, you have to realize that a good man wasn't created for you. There are a lot of women that think that they were made for, they God's gift. You are a gift, but you're not in the place of God. So no man was created for you, sister. You're gonna have to understand this. There's not one man, even a godly man, who was not made for you. When we look at God's word, you have to realize this. When we go to 1 Corinthians 11:9, that's 1 Corinthians 11:9. 1 Corinthians 11:9. How you doing, Sister Nikki Nash? Welcome to the dinner table. It states clearly in 1 Corinthians 11, it said, neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman was created for the man. So, sister, when God calls a man to find you, he created you for that particular man. You got to understand that he created you for that particular man. Because you had a desire for a man, that man had a desire for a woman, and God brought you all together through life. He could have been off track. You could have been off track. He could have been dealing with the wrong woman or different women. You could have been dealing with the wrong man or different men, or you could be dealing with the wrong man right now. And you know it's not going nowhere. You know, some of you sisters, you are in a relationship with a man right now, and you know it's not going anywhere. How you doing, Sister Flo? Welcome to the dinner table. You know within your heart that the relationship is not going anywhere. So you need to let go. Sister, especially if the man is not a godly man. Some of you sisters, you worshiping God. But this man, he will not worship God with you. He's not even the leader. He will let you go to public worship by yourself. He has no time for it. And then some of the men, they start going to public worship with you just to try to get you. And you know that they stopped going, right? And they said, you go ahead and I'll be here. They were just shamming. They were just like an angel or like Satan. He transformed himself into an angel light. And that's what some of these guys have hoodwinked you sisters into doing. So you got to understand this. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman was created for the man. Sister, if you have a desire for a man, God created you for a certain type of man, a godly man, not a worldly man. Number 3, you sisters, you have to, if you're single, you have to realize that you are the reflection, or you shall be the reflection, or should I say it differently, you will be the glory of the man. You understand that, sister? You will be the reflection, or to say it differently, you will be the glory of the man. And we're going to 1 Corinthians chapter 11, 3 through 7. Again, at 1 Corinthians chapter 11, 3 through 7. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, 3 through 7. It said, for the man indeed not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of God. But, that's the contrast. But the woman is the glory of the man. Listen to me again. When Paul wrote the Corinthians, and that's the first letter to the Corinthians, that's why I call 1 Corinthians, and it's in the chapter 11, and it's between verses 3 and 7. We could go into more detail, but not tonight. It said, for the man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of God. But the woman is the glory of the man. Now, when you look at Genesis, God made them male and female. He made it equal. So let me tell you something, sister. You are not inferior to a man. So don't think I'm saying you're not inferior to a man. They're not. If you're a godly woman, you are not inferior to a man, even if he's a godly man. You just have different roles and responsibilities in a relationship. So tonight, sisters, and you brothers, if God calls you a woman to come to you, you are not superior over the woman. There's not one man that is superior over a woman in the eyes of God. God just positioned a man, a godly man, to be the head of the home. And God did this because of what happened in the garden. Before Adam and Eve fell, Adam and Eve, he did not tell Adam. Well, at the beginning, God gave Eve and Adam the same responsibility. He said, I want you all to reproduce. It took 2 of them to do it, right? And replenish. And he said, I want you to dominate or rule over his creation. So He did not give the creation to Adam just to rule by himself. He created Eve to help Adam to rule. You understand? So he gave them dominion together. But when Adam and Eve failed, God had to do a little shuffling of things around. And when he did the shuffling around, he told the man that and I'm paraphrasing it, that he was going to work and it was going to be hard for him. It wasn't going to be easy like it was when they was in Eden. And he told the woman that she was going to bear children. She was going to have some hard labor pain. It's also tell the woman that her desire would be towards her husband. What does it mean her desire would be towards her husband? Because the nature of a woman of the flesh, she wants to dominate a man and tell a man what to do and all that kind of stuff. That's what it means by desire. So God had to specifically tell Eve, and it passed down from Eve to every woman, your desire will be towards your husband, which meant that the woman, she was going to have to approach the man in a submission way. That doesn't mean that he's dominant over you, brother. That doesn't mean that when God put you the woman that you are dominant over the woman. You just got you just in a higher position. You're in a leadership position. That's why, brother, when you marry a woman and things go wrong in your home and it gets so unorganized, God looking at you, brother. That's for any man that listening to me. If you get married, God look at you first before he look at your wife and your children. He hold you responsible. That's even in any organization in the world. When you look at football teams, if a team is unsuccessful, they're going to more than likely fire the coach. If a company is not doing that well, they're going to look at the CEO. They always look at the top, even if you're in the United States of America and things go wrong. Most people are going to look, they're not going to look at Congress. They're not going to look at the Senate. They're going to look at the president of the United States because he's in the leadership role. And that's what it means, brother. When God puts you in a leadership role, you're going to be more accountable to God than the woman. And you have to understand that you're going to be more accountable. And sister, you still have to respect the man. Now, what does it mean by the woman is the glory of the man? This is what it means. It means that the woman is to glorify God by placing herself under the leadership of a godly man. Now, if you messed up and married the wrong man, I got some bad news for you, sister. You have to submit to the man that you married to. Even though he's not following God, you got to submit to him. Long as he don't tell you nothing to violate your relationship with God, you got to submit to him. And the Bible have a strategy, sister, for those of you that have messed up and married the wrong man, how you should conduct yourself, because there's a possibility that that man that you messed up and got married to, there's a possibility that you could lead him to the Lord. But hopefully if you're single, you don't make that mistake. Again, the woman is to glorify God by placing herself under the leadership of a godly man and to serve and to fulfill the needs of a good man that follows Jesus. You understand? This man needs to be following Jesus. That before you say I do to the man, that's why it's very imperative. That's why it's very important. That's why it's very serious, sister. Before you say I do to a man, you need to know, not feel, that that man is following Jesus. That man know Jesus, not that he know about Jesus, but he knows Jesus. And that's why I tell you, sister, that I say it over and over again. When a man step up to you, you need to say a silent prayer to the Lord so you can know where this man coming from, because you may not know where he's coming from. It could be one of Satan's sons that's in front of you. Satan's sons could do some nice things for you temporarily. Satan's son, they could give you some of the world's good temporarily, but you would rather have a man of God that called God owns everything. And a godly man, he looks at things that's going to benefit not only your wants, but more importantly, your needs. You understand? Thank you, Sister Flo. So you got to understand, sister, where I'm coming from, because I'm trying to help you. Okay? And you all know this. When a woman follow a man that's following the Lord, you going to have a beautiful relationship. Sister Flo said, before you say I do, lady. That's right. You will have a beautiful relationship. You know how your relationship going to be, sister, when God bring a good man into you. Just picture yourself, sister, as a caterpillar. You're a caterpillar. You've been in a relationship with bad men. They looked at you, but they did not value you. You know what these worldly men didn't see, sister? They didn't see the butterfly in you. The butterfly represents the spirit of God in you. They didn't see it. So some of them misuse you. Some of them abuse you in all kinds of ways. They did not see how priceless you were in the sight of God until you pulled yourself away. When you pulled yourself away, you got in that cocoon, right? That cocoon represents you got separated. And while you were separated, God was molding you more, and he was working on you. So in the process of time, while you was in that cocoon, my sister, before you came out, your wings were getting stronger before you start flying. You know how a butterfly can instantly fly. This is how a butterfly can instantly fly. A butterfly wings start getting strong on the inside of the cocoon. That's where the strength comes from the inside. So, sister, before you able to fly, the Lord is working on you. So when the cocoon open up, so when God presents you, sister, to the right man, you are gonna already be flying. You're gonna be a beautiful butterfly on the inside going out, not on the outside going in. You're gonna be beautiful on the inside. And then they're gonna go out. You're gonna already be able to fly. Before you meet a man, you're gonna be able to fly. Ruth was able to fly before she met Boaz. Just think about that. Ruth was flying before she met Boaz. But she flew higher when God brought them together. Ruth came out of a tough situation. Her husband had died. Sister, your husband could have died. You could have came out of a bad relationship. All kinds of stuff could have happened to you. You got your story. That doesn't mean that's the end of the story. And the fourth most important thing, my sisters, is this. The most important thing that you have to remember is that, one, you are a daughter of God. Two, you are a Proverbs 31 woman. Therefore, if you are a daughter of God through his son, Jesus Christ, and you are a Proverbs 31 woman, because the Lord have been working on you, and the Lord is working on you, and he shall continue to work on you. You are priceless. All of God's daughters are priceless. You can't put a dollar figure on a woman that God is her father. You cannot put a dollar figure on a woman that's a daughter of God. You cannot do it because you're priceless. But some of you sisters, still, as I talk today, you're dealing with a man and you have brought your market price down. You trying to fit in with someone that doesn't fit you. He doesn't believe in God's son Jesus. You could tell it in his talk. You could tell it in his action. Jesus is not in that man, but you love him. You so tied to him, but you could break the chain. You can't break it by yourself because you're so deep into it. You're so deep into this wrong man. You need Jesus to deliver you from this man. And you got to be sincere. You single sister that in a relationship with the wrong man, or you living with a man and you know you ain't married to him, you have to pray to Jesus to deliver you. You're not going to want it. Your flesh is not going to want to do it. But your spirit know you need to do it. So you got an internal battle going on. You got a battle of the spirit and the flesh. Your flesh want to hold on to this man, but the spirit telling you to let him go. Some of you sisters right now, you're in a relationship with a man and you think you can't do no better. Yes, you can do better. Some of you sisters, you're in a relationship with a man and he telling you that nobody don't want you. He telling you stuff like, look at how fat you are. Look at those cellulites in you. Look at this, look at that. He beating you down and you believe in that stuff. That no man doesn't want you. Yes, there is a man that needs you, not want you. It's a godly man that needs you. But you got to let the zero go. You got to let him go. And when you let the zero go, God going to help you. When you decide to let this zero go, sister, this is what's going to happen. You going to want to talk to him again. I'm telling you that now. You're going to want to talk to him again because you're going to miss him. You're going to look forward. You're going to look for his text. You're going to be looking to see whether he's going to run after you or not. Do he really love you? And if he doesn't call you no more, if he doesn't text you, you're going to feel like you want to call him. You're going to feel like you want to test him. That's where you're going to lose. When you breaking away from this zero, sister, this ungodly man, and you reach out to him, you going to lose. So when he goes, let him be. It's going to take time. You're not going to lose that. You're not going to lose that thought of him overnight, especially if you have been investing time in him. It's going to take time. And while you're away, the Lord is going to help you. You have to get more into the Lord, and you're going to have to start doing you. You understand? You got to start doing you. You got to delight in the Lord and start doing you. And when you start delighting in the Lord, and then you start doing you, and you let that zero go, because he might call you. And when you see his number on the phone, listen to me. If you haven't blocked the phone, if you haven't blocked this number, do not answer that phone. The best thing you could do, sister, when you decide to walk away from this man, go ahead and block his number. If you don't block his number, that's telling you something about yourself. You still holding on. To help you, block the number for your sake. Block the email for your sake. If y'all friends on social media, block for your sake. Help yourself. If your family or friends come to you telling you what he said, that he miss you and stuff, when they start talking, when you hear his name and they start talking about he want to talk to you, just say, look, I love you, family. I love you, friend, but we're not talking about that. I'm doing something else. How you doing, cousin Rita? You guys say I'm on another plan. Because guess what? If you with the wrong man and you trying to leave that man, and the Lord wants you to leave that man, because the Lord got a ram in the bush for you, but you still hold on to that zero. So when that zero go, even some of your family members and friends that he doesn't like, guess what? He would try to get in contact with them. Believe it or not, the people in your family that he don't like or your friend, he might even get to the point where he called them and try to get in to talk to you. That's right, Sister Flo. You have to go to plan B. Plan B, plan B, plan B. So you need to block the man. He might get to the point where he may come to where you live. If you look out your peephole and he ring your doorbell, do not answer the door. Why are you going to answer the door? Why are you going to open the door? You vulnerable already. You're going to listen to what he got to say. You're going to open the door and listen to what he got to say. And you still got those feelings for him. He's going to tell you all the good things that y'all used to do. He's not going to mention the stuff that you didn't like. He's not going to mention that. He's just going to only focus on the good things. And that was at the beginning of the relationship. Or a sprinkle here and there during a relationship. This man doesn't love you. How can a man love you, sister, if he doesn't have a relationship with Christ? That's what that gets to me. How can a man love a woman if he doesn't have a relationship with Jesus? Yes, I'm calling out of the Godhead, I'm calling his name out, Jesus. If this man doesn't have a relationship with Jesus, how can he have a relationship with you? He can't. A man does not know how to love you, sister, how you need to be loved. That's why some of you sisters, you want to be loved the right way. Some men, the only way some men, their thing of love is throwing money on you or paying your bill. That's their way of love. That's not love. That could be a byproduct of love, but you want the real man to love you. A man of God, he's gonna love your spirit first, because your spirit, you have the Lord Jesus in you. So that's what he loves first. And then he's gonna be thinking about loving your soul, your mind, your will, and your emotion, then your body. That's how a godly man love you. He loves your spirit first. He loves your soul, second, your mind, your will, and your emotion. Then he loves your body, and all things gonna come after that. Worldly men can't love your spirit. Worldly men can love your body, and then your soul, your feelings, and all that. That's secondary to them. They don't understand you. And then there are a lot of these guys that's out there that got these platforms telling other men how to love a woman. But one thing they forget to tell these guys, they never include Jesus in it. But they have all the game to tell these other guys how to get a woman. But they never really mention Jesus. And these love gurus that don't mention Jesus to these other guys, they just teaching men how to manipulate women, how to get women sprung, to get them hooked. A man of the world don't know what love means. A man of God that following Christ does know, because you see, a man of God, and I have always said this, he allowed Jesus. You know what really love you, sister, inside of a man? Jesus is loving you through that man. That's profound, ain't it? Jesus already in you and he loves you. And Jesus inside this man, you have a desire for a man, but Jesus is loving you through this man because he's showing this man, he's guiding this man, and he's teaching this man how to love you, how you need to be loved. Worldly men cannot love you. And when God bring the right man to find you, you're going to go some places where you've never been before. And I'm not talking about going to Paris and Rome and the Bahamas and all that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about going somewhere in a relationship where you've never been before. And the only way you're going to go to that level of man, he got to be a man of God. If you settle, you doing it to yourself. If you settle for a worldly man. Yes, a worldly man could put money in your pocket. He could pay your bills, get your hair done, your nails done, give you money for girl trips and all that kind of stuff. He could do all that kind of stuff, but he can't love your spirit. He can't love your soul, and he can't love your body. He might could love your body, but he don't even love your body. He loves your body. Worldly men cannot love your body. They could use your body, but they use the word love. If the man is not a follower of Christ, he's lusting your body. And you think he making love to you. He not making love to you. He making lust to you. And more likely he think about himself. He think about his own loins. He's not thinking about you. And he leave you hanging, right? He leave you hanging. Because you're doing it wrong anyway. When you're with the right man, he's going to think about not only your soul, he's going to think about time. Time going to be high on his priority list. There's not going to be no one or nothing greater in that man's mind besides Jesus coming before you. I'm telling you this, my sister. If a man have anybody or anything in front of you, even his career, his mama, anything or anybody, you're going to see those signs early. You're going to get a glimpse of where you're going to be at if you say I do to that man. I love Jesus first. My wife would never be number one in my life. She would never be number one in my life, and she knows it. I would never be number one in her life, and I know it. Do I have a problem following behind Jesus? No. Does she have a problem following behind Jesus? No. She may have a problem of someone else or something coming before her, and I have a problem with someone or something other than Jesus. Nobody is coming before me when it comes to Cinderella but Jesus, and she know it, and vice versa. It's about priority. Sister, God doesn't want you going looking for a man. That's the bottom line. Never go looking for a man. If you have a desire for a man, Jesus know it. He didn't forget you. You tried it your way. Some of you single sisters, you tried it your way. How many times have you tried it your way? Some of you are still trying to do it your way right now. You trying to subconsciously fix the man. You can't fix him. You can't fix him. You can't even control yourself. You need Jesus to help you control your life. So how can you control someone you can't control yourself without Jesus, the Spirit leading you? I can't control myself. I need Jesus' Spirit to lead me. If I don't have Jesus' Spirit in me, I'll be going all kinds of haywire. That right? Or so for never go looking for a man. Sisters, don't do it. Don't lower yourself because you feel alone. You don't feel lonely, sister. You feel alone. Don't you see, when you feel lonely, you get depressed. You just alone. You're not lonely. Because see, you got the Lord in your life. Now you may, if you got the Lord in your life, you're just alone. You're not lonely. And guess what? In the Lord's time, not your time. Yeah, you want that man. You need that man right now, but it's not on your time. It's on the Lord time. Don't get despair, sister, because you advancing in age. Don't get despair. Jesus got a time for you. Don't give up. Jesus got a time for you. You ain't got to wait for somebody to hook you up. You ain't got to go. You ain't got to put on your hunting gear and go outside trying to hunt a man down. You ain't got to get on social media half naked and twerking to get a man. Yeah, you will get a man half dressed and twerking. Yeah, you'll get a man. You know what a man thinking about you when they jump in your inbox and stuff? They just thinking about laying you on your back. They don't even have to really know your full name. They barely know your first name. So you wanna cause your body to cause a magnet for a man. It will work. I'm telling you, if you showing off your assets to a man, it's gonna work, but it's not gonna work for the right man. It's gonna be working for a lot of wrong men. Don't mean that jump in your inbox, and don't mean that be putting on your social media page. You a queen, you fine, you beautiful, and you be eating it up, but you just don't know. You see, a daughter of God is not going to use her body anyway to attract a man. A daughter of God does not use her body to get a man's attention. She never does. She doesn't have to. Now, those women that you see that be marketing their body for attention, and you know a lot of them, they like to show a lot of their breasts, and you know a lot of them, they like to stand on the side and show how their figure is. And you know a lot of them, they like to turn they self to their camera and take butt shots, you know, on the camera, or you know those other ones that are where is it? They will stand in the bathroom and they will have their camera up like this. And you have seen it before, my brother and sister. They'll have the mirror behind them, and then they'll have the phone in front of them. So when they have the phone in front of them, it's showing how they look in the back, right? And they all on Facebook and stuff like that. Or you will see them. Now, don't take this the wrong way. They want you to see them working out all the time, right? When they want you to see them working out all the time, they're not trying to teach you to work out. Just think about it. Just think about what they're really doing. They want attention. They want attention. Whenever you see these people, and men do it too, when they acting like when they want you to keep watching them doing all this stuff, they get attention. That's all they got. That's all they think they got, their bodies. And then when a man approach a woman about her body, then she gonna say, that ain't me, that ain't what I'm about, but that's what you selling. God daughters do not use their body to attract men. They could look nice and presentable, but they don't have to wear attire to get a man's attention. What get a real man attention of God is the way that woman is on the inside shining out. Those the type of women that men, real men, would like to take around their families. Real men don't mind going out in public with a woman that's dignified, that is respectful. If this man got something going on in his life and he's in public or whatever, These are the type of women, godly women, that he wants you on his shoulder. These men don't mind holding your hand in public. These type of men don't mind opening the door for you. These type of men don't mind when you go into a restaurant, he gonna sit where he can watch the door while you uncomfortable. These are the type of man, if you're walking on the street, he's walking on the outside because he's thinking about you. Sisters, wake up. God doesn't want a woman to go looking for a man. He never did. He never will. God will always cause the man to find you because he's going to put you in a situation where this man going to be able to see you. And when God puts you in a situation where this man be able to see you, this man, he's going to approach you. Now, if you're interested in a man and you in the environment of man and this man a godly man, some of you sisters, you got to understand this. You can't be mean mugging. You know, you look unapproachable. You got that sourpuss expression on your face. You always looking mad, and you always walk around with your arm like that. You looking so mad. Who want to approach you? And then when a man said, "Why don't you smile?" Smile for what? Sister, let me tell you something. When when a real man is interested in you, he look for eye contact. I'm telling you, he look for eye contact. He look for eye contact. And he knows that if you got eye contact, the way you look at him, it's gonna tell him that he can approach you. And another thing about a godly man, he's not gonna run after you. So that stuff with your mama, your dad, and all these people on social media and the love guru tell you about let the man run after you, pursue you, and chase you. That's a whole bunch of crap. Godly men do not run after women. Godly men have themselves together, and when God present the woman to them, that's how it goes. Godly men don't run after women because godly men don't bring themselves down like that for a woman. As a matter of fact, godly men don't even put on no hunting suit going looking for a woman. He may have a desire for a woman, but he don't go just out in the street looking for one. He's going to be going about doing his everyday thing like the woman going to be doing her everyday thing, and God going to bring them together. He's going to use life circumstance to bring you together. That's how God works. In his time. Sister, when the right man find you, it's gonna be at that moment. It's not gonna be luck. It's not gonna be by chance. It's not gonna be by the zodiac. So stop. If some of you sisters, you call yourself a daughter God, why are you looking at the horoscope and you're gonna ask the man what sign are you? You don't go by no star. How can you serve God and depend on the horoscope? Don't you know the horoscope that's demonic? Astrology is demonic when you live in your life by stars and signs. You're supposed to live your life by God, Son, Jesus Christ. Don't depend on those stars and somebody's sign. You're a Leo, you're a Scorpio, and all that kind of crazy stuff. If somebody asks me what I am, and I be knowing they be talking about a zodiac sign, I never say I'm this. They say, when you're born, I said August 20. Oh, that make you a Leo. I said, oh, it does? No, it doesn't. It don't make me no Leo. My name is not Leo, and I'm not a lion. I'm a son of God through his son, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is my Lord. Jesus Christ is my brother. God the Father is my Father. That's who I am. I love you, brothers, and I love you, sisters. If there's a question that you want to ask at this time at the dinner table, by all means, put weight down there. And then when you put weight, go ahead and ask your question or make your comment. Again, If there is a question that you want to pose to me or anyone on at the dinner table, it's your time to do it. Just put wait and do it. If not, we could get ready to part. Go ahead and get you one of these carrot plates, my brother and sister. Pack it in good and share with some more family members and friends that were not at the dinner table tonight, okay? Just share it with them. Tell them, do you want some of this carrot food? It's good. It's still hot. It's something about this food that you don't even have to put in a microwave. That's all you have to tell your brothers and sister, and you can invite some of them to the dinner table. Whenever you come at the dinner table, you can go ahead and invite them to come in because we have plenty of food at the dinner table. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. And I hope that you all have a good night. And Lord willing, if the Lord don't come tomorrow, but he give you another day, make sure you start your day off with Jesus Christ. Jesus is the most important relationship that you need to secure, my brother and sister, before a man and a woman. I love you, brothers. I love you, sisters. Peace out.